Welcome back to another Askari Cast. My name is Rod Van Blake, author of the Ancient Illumination series as well as Young Bunny Chronicles. I am joined once again by Jocelyn Short.
Hello.
She is a graphic artist and illustrator. She is the creator of the series called Bearers. She's got an awesome art book that's out right now. She also does some really good cover work. So if you're interested in seeing any of her stuff, the link to her personal website will be up when we put this episode on Spotify. We're also joined by Jordan Purnell Jackson.
Hey, everybody.
He is another graphic artist and illustrator. He is creator of Growing in the Garden, educational STEM series. Also, Eve of Insurrection, Eve of Reclamation, his own adult comic series, as well as the illustrator for the Ancient Illumination graphic novels, the Yombani Chronicles comics. And there will also be links to his website and mine once again once we put this episode up on Spotify. Appreciate you all joining us again. Back together, all of us again. And we are discussing Spider Noir. We've all now finished the series, but first I wanted to give Jocelyn a chance to give us her thoughts on episodes 5 and 6, and she wasn't here last week. Jocelyn, what did you think of those two episodes?
I thought they were very illuminating. I loved all of the backstory with the war and understanding the soldiers and how they were being tested on. Um, I I appreciated those two episodes. I thought they were very good. I
Mhm.
felt they were very well paced. Like just everything was just. I mean, I feel like that's a comment I've had about this series as a whole. Is just the pacing is done really well. Like stuff is just like moving.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I really liked it. I liked it. I enjoyed um just the entire lab sequence, like
Mm,
all of that. Understanding about like the doctor, and then the twist with the son.
yeah.
You know, um, I was sad they burned everything down, but
I was like, what was his power? He just got old.
Yeah, that was a messed up mutation. I was like, you just age faster.
yeah, he's got some Benjamin Button stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just got
Um,
old. Um,
yeah.
were you was mad because I was hot when Kat gave at the end of episode 5, I think it was when Kat gave Ben up. Like, you sure if you know who the spider is, that it could help? Yeah,
I don't know. She just, like in the most respectful way. She's a, bit of a manipulative kind of bird. Sorry, hang on one second.
mhm. Yeah, yeah. I was tripping on that. I didn't like that at all. Jordan and I had discussed it last week that I was waiting and chomping at the bit to see Ben or somebody get some kind of get back. Spoilers if you all haven't watched the entire series now, because we're discussing the last two episodes. Um, in episode 7, I think is Nobody's Hero. We got Kat agonizing over her recent, kind of agonizing over her betrayal of Ben. How much can she wasn't the one on the table getting cut open and whatnot.
Her playing on the keys were hilarious. Getting
Yeah,
mad. No,
Yeah,
no, no. I'm like,
all
okay.
all bent out of shape,
throwing a tantrum on
lady.
the piano. She's up to her sign. She's in a melancholy mood. I'm like, "Man, get out of here." Yeah, you see
Man,
Silverman and his boys in the alcove, and they're talking about they're pissed off because the Faber's lab ends up being useless because they end up burning it down. They don't realize that they actually did. Um, I know that they're all there for different purposes, but they didn't find what they were looking for there, because we know Superman, he's just looking for more superpowered dudes to put on the payroll so he can have him an army. And I'm not sure what Flint and I forget the Electro and Lonnie. I don't know what they're really, but that's not Electro. He called himself Megawatt. That was crazy. But I guess that's better for the times. Uh,
yeah.
for like the 1920s, 1930s, he's called himself Megawatt. It was funny at the end of episode 8. Uh,
Hmm.
so their useless trip to Faber's lab, they're pissed. Cat's surprised to hear they didn't find anything because this is always kind of funny because she knows what's going on, but she still has to pretend like she doesn't.
Hmm.
And but she's still being Miss Nosy, asking questions and stuff. Like, you hinting that you know more than you should know right now. You need to just be quiet. I'm surprised you ain't been caught just by yourself. Um, Silverman orders the mutants basically to go and mess with the city to remind the mayor who's in charge. Leiden, that's the Electro dude's name. Flint and Leiden, they roll up in the Mayor Morris's office, basically to force them to show them where the money is. So they go and steal the campaign money. That was hilarious. The sister was a smart one. She stood up right away, like, look, we can get this out the way. I can give you what you need, and you can be up out our hair. And so she saved some lives. Cat, she goes to
You're
Ben.
already fed up.
Yeah, I'm hating her because she's so flaky and just she's oily. I don't like people like this. She shows up at the office acting clueless and asking Janet, what's going on, and Janet don't know what's going on at this point. Then she's like, "Oh, he didn't stand her up. Something's like wrong with Ben. We got to find this boy." And she calls Robbie. And Cat bounces, but telling Janet to let her know if he shows up. Like this is old school to me. This is I stole your wallet, but I'm helping you to look for it. Like playing in your face, like, oh, you missing something? Oh man, what did it look like? And I'm looking around with you, pat you on the back and whatnot. Like, you know where it is, fool. You the one that stole it. That's what Cat is reminding me of right here. It was pissing me off. And Ben is off. This was a funny scene when Ben was at the bar.
Yep.
Just drinking, sitting down and doing his thing. And
what about my feelings? What about the spider's feelings?
What is Spider-Man? What the spider's lonely? Like, okay, buddy.
What if the spider was just a person?
Yeah, he was Nick Caging it up in this one.
Yes, he was.
What about what I feel? What about what the spider feels? Yeah, see, what about what he thinks? Maybe he's stealing some things around here. And they all just bust up laughing at him. And my boy gets so offended, he gets up and turns to walk out of the bar at first, and then turns around last minute, just puts the little mask over his head, pops in, and starts whooping, gets into a bar brawl.
They're like, oh, the spider. They're like the spider. That's funny.
Web.
Oh, when he's saying what he's doing
yes, he just web. I was like, bro, that was a good fight scene. Like watching, so I watching for the second time, I saw it in color. Okay. In general, I was like, I don't really like this in color, but whatever. So it's very interesting, to see him kind of the architecture of the space. Mm-hmm. And so that bar door is actually blue. It's this very stark.
The bar door is?
Yes, the bar door that he goes in is blue. It's weird. Okay. But when he goes back in, I thought it was hilarious. I was like, oh, it's the spider. And then he just starts throwing hands. And the fight choreography is very well done. I really like that. Yeah. I'm always confused by this man's power level. Because he can kick a dude across the bar into the shell, to the shelves. But then he just throwing regular punches. And I'm like,
he might be pull. I mean,
he's pulling them. He has to pull them. But I'm like, that kick is detrimental.
To be fair, so I think there's a couple of things going on. Yes. So I feel like in a general sense, superheroes are pulling their punches for the most part.
All the time.
But also, he's drunk.
That's another thing. He's also that's my issue. He's drunk. If he has the capacity to kick somebody across the room, he should be doing more damage.
But I think he's still aware that he has ability. So but because he's drunk, he's gonna kick a dude across the room, and then remember he needs to pull his punches.
Wait a second. I should.
Yeah,
no, I don't want to see that.
I can't kill these guys. So.
Wait a minute, that was a bit too much. See.
Not. See, I shouldn't have kicked them. I shouldn't have said well. But it's
too much, I think.
Yeah, it's like him, like all that, like that whole fight scene was good. But I was like, come on, I mean, it'd be nice, like similar to how Superman punches in the last Superman movie. He punches a guy and breaks his teeth.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting to get a moment like that to like show that kind of raw power or a jaw break. But I guess I don't know. It's not too much to ask for.
Yeah.
But he can still pull the punches.
I think that's a running theme, especially with Spider-Man, which is why I think some people underestimate how powerful Spider-Man is until like you get to mentioning the crazy feats that he's accomplished throughout the comics. So like, yeah, most of the time he's got to be in all of his forms, pulling punches when he's fighting regular.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Mayor Morris gets pissed off when he realizes money's gone. He starts talking big crap to the police chief, and all of y'all are corrupt. Like, what are you going to do about it? Like, what you mean what I'm going to do about it? You know that we're being at once paid by the same man that is wreaking all this havoc. Meanwhile, we got Flint and Leiden running around chucking money in the streets, telling everybody to vote for Hudson. So they're basically using his own money to campaign against him in the city, which was hilarious. So he leaves, yeah. Robbie finally comes into the bar at the end of the fight. He's like, come on, buddy, let's go. And I think it's then when they kind of, that they figure out he's really jammed up more than just being drunk. And Ben tells him what happened, basically, and tells him he wants to take the antidote.
Yeah.
He said being the Spider used to feel good, but now it doesn't anymore. And Robbie is like, there are more important things than feeling good. You can't just feel good all the time. And Robbie reminds him that there's no reason that he deserves the antidote more than Flint and Lonnie, who are actively dying. And that was one thing that kind of caught me. We don't see any hint that Leiden is actually dying. Like, Lonnie kind of knows, and we see Flint like passing out sometimes when he uses his powers. Mm-hmm. Aside from when he runs out of juice and kind of sits there, I don't recall seeing Leiden being in any like.
Well, it was like a dialogue that a line of dialogue he had mentioned, like when he was first getting recruited. Like he was, I remember him saying something to the effect of like I know I don't have long.
Leiden did.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the Gator dude, right?
No, that's Electra Megawatt.
Megawatt.
Oh,
Lonnie said
that theatrical.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, no, there was. I don't remember seeing. I mean, I could be making it up. I feel like there was something in like the first fights that we saw him doing.
Okay.
Where but I don't remember too much of like them showing him.
Yeah, I don't remember much.
Suffering or struggling. I mean, didn't he was in jail?
Yeah,
wasn't
they
he
broke
like
him out of jail. Remember, he was getting tortured by the cops there, and he like electrocuted the one dude that was talking big stuff as he was tied up. They kept him away from all power. They would cut power from certain, like the one block that he was in, and then the dude was in there beating him up and talking trash. And when he gets rescued, he gets his get back on that dude. But yeah, I don't recall him saying or expressing a fear, because even in the last episode, he says, "Speak for yourself. I'm getting stronger." That's what he told me. Yeah, he's like, "Speak for yourself. I'm getting stronger here."
I mean, he could be lying.
Yeah,
like his whole thing is thing is bravado. So probably, him saying he's getting stronger probably means he's just closer to death.
Yeah.
So.
But him and Dr. Faber's son, I mean, even though he was just getting old, he wasn't necessarily passing out.
And that's my thing. Like, he's probably the closest example to like he's kind of a visual reference point of like, if we're seeing someone who is suffering from the mutation or the experimentation, it would be him as the example. But I think they should have probably introduced a character like maybe they shouldn't have killed the fire guy so quickly.
Addison
in the first episode, because we could have like that could have been it could have been more clear versus leaning into dialogue to show that like this person's actually decaying. So it's like we could say like they probably could have kept that character along so we could see them die due to being on the mutation for too long. And then we also kind of get but for me it was like Flint's abilities just felt unstable. but I didn't get the sense that he was like going to die.
Yeah, he just kept
He was
passing out. He was
Yeah,
well, he was. I mean, he kept coughing and stuff, and you know,
coughing up the same blood.
a vid.
yeah. So
Got the
he just
vid.
was in a bad way. Like, I mean, I feel like maybe they could have done a better job of like showing like a heavier progression
Yeah,
towards death for these guys,
yeah,
but I feel like maybe they relied on the fact that like Flint was suffering,
yeah,
and to inform the rest of their everyone else's behavior,
yeah.
because the doctors had commented like why they wanted Spider Noir was because he wasn't dying, like
The
his
most stable of all the
mutation was
mutants.
stable. So I
But
think
even
they
I
were
don't,
just kind of like hoping we'd remember that in instead of showing it.
yeah, I don't even remember Lonnie passing out any at all either. He was just kind of brooding all the time. He was always dark and brooding when he showed up. Don't call me brother. And then he's got the mouth.
That brother line.
Yeah. He finally got to call him brother after he helped him out that one time. So we got Flint showing up at Kat's house, offering some diatribe about how he fell in love with her, and she's still falling. I'm right here, right in front of you. But Flint can't get over how quickly she moved on because she did. She was ready. She was selling wolf tickets to Ben. He's like, you even took him to my spot that we met at where I first saw you. Like, nah, he couldn't let that go. And we go back to the office, and Ben is basically divvying up the antidote into these syringes. His plan is to reject the other supers with it and then take one himself. Uh, then he's like, because Janet's like, why? He's like, because with no power, there is no responsibility. So that's a new twist. With great power comes great responsibility line. Uh, just then, the news breaks that Silvermane's folks are ransacking the police house in Harlem. Ben dons the mask. He goes over to engage in fight with Lonnie, but he drops a syringe because apparently Lonnie's got super thick skin. This was so crazy. He tried to stab him and broke the syringe, and then he's getting mollywopped until Robbie rolls in and stabs my man in the eyeball.
He recovered from that
wild.
stab
That
real
was
quick
wild.
too.
I was like, yo.
Yeah.
He recovered from that stab
Yeah.
way too quick, in my opinion.
He's like,
He should have been down. He should have
and
passed out.
Yeah.
he goes down to one knee, and then all of a sudden he's cool and realizing now that he's been helped because Ben is all jacked up. They steal a car. Robbie hops in the car, and they send him to get some rest. And he's like, should we take him to the hospital? And he's like, no, he just needs some rest. He just needs some nap time.
Sleep it out.
Yeah. And then they say take him to Robbie's house, and Lonnie leaves for. It's kind of cool send off. Lonnie he got to ride off and not get killed. And he doesn't even say nothing to the homies. Like those your boy. He just bounced. He got out of Dodge. And in the end, both Silvermane and Mayor Morris learn about the spider having because the police picked up one of the syringes and bring it back to the mayor. And so now at the end of that episode, both of them simultaneously are like, find Ben Riley. So they're now going to look for the same person, which brought things to a head. And really interesting for episode 8 that we have two factions looking for the same person, and they're both calling the person that they think is a third party to him when they actually he is the spider. And this is another instance where this is always weird with Kat being in the room, knowing stuff, and she's right there like a part of the conversation, and she's just sitting there. It's like, I don't like this. What did y'all think of episode 7?
So for me overall, like it was a good episode. I wanted to comment on how Janet knew all along.
Oh, that was hilarious.
That was so funny. Like clearly he has a problem. And he'd be drinking, and then he slips every time. I was like, this is funny. So that was really cool how they revealed that. But I kind of enjoyed Just how we had certain resolutions to certain characters. So I kind of like that, like Lonnie gets his humanity back and doesn't die. And he get the him and Robbie and Robbie and Ben gets kind of right off. That fight scene in the warehouse was really cool. Was a good one. Enjoyed the fight scene in the beginning as well.
Yeah.
But like I think I agree with what you said about like bringing these two factions. So I like how we kind of get like the gang, like the I guess the criminal underworld aspect, and then you have the system itself.
Yeah.
And the police force going against Ben. And I know you're frustrated with Kat. I get it. I get it. She's
got a solid role to play. Like
yeah. She's up to something. We're gonna get some. We're gonna get it. Ain't we? We're gonna
I
find
really
out on the last
appreciate.
episode.
Yeah, I know you don't like her. I really appreciate her as a character
Okay.
because she's so slippery.
She's
Yeah,
playing.
like
Yeah, it's just intentional. Yeah, I don't think.
yeah,
I think it's very intentional how they did that, and I do like we did talk about that in previous episodes. How I felt like she was a slave to the plot, but
Yeah.
but you can tell as we get closer to the finale that like she's just intentionally playing people, which is par for the course for I guess your femme fatale type character.
Yeah.
In this
yeah.
kind
I
of like
think
world. So I was like, she's up to something, guys.
Yeah.
I like I said, I appreciate her as a character just because like I can tell at her core, her whole point is that she's trying to survive out of this. It's like
Yeah.
she's trying to survive and also trying to get out not just intact, but also intact with someone that she loves.
Yeah,
So
she's trying to play safe brand. I mean, and that's what it was like. You really want to be with Flint. So it was like that's when I kind of understood. I was like, oh, you want to run off in the sunset with Flint and get out of this life. That's fair.
she's trying her best to have a normal life, but
Yeah.
like because she is, like she's in it, she has to navigate it. Like she can't get
Hmm.
out in a straightforward, earnest way. It's too late for that. And, I feel like if you in it, you might have to get out of it the same way you got in it, you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah, I'm not mad
I
about her
appreciate her as a
wanting to get
character.
run away with Flint. My problem is the way, like you said, it wasn't a straightforward, earnest way of doing it. Just being upfront about that, and then Ben would have understood what was going on. It's just you twisted him up, gave him up to the people to experiment on him. They cutting pieces of his liver out, taking his blood, all against his will, because that was the thing we had
Mhm.
discussed last week too. It's one thing if you would have just asked him, like, "Yo, we think we know who you are, and we want to get some of your DNA to see if we can stabilize these genetics on these mutants to see if we could find a cure for what's going on." And it would have been up to him to say yes or no, but he was never given a choice. He's just hemmed up all because of her.
Mhm.
That's what had me mad. But to go back to what Jordan was talking about with Ben and Janet knowing the whole time because he'd been telling on himself the whole time. I think that's a vast majority of people and why we can't have actual vigilantes because nobody would have a secret identity. It would be I think a few people would be able to hold their water and not say nothing.
Hmm.
But a majority of
They're
people would have told on themselves, especially after some drink or some smoke. They'd be looking at you crazy, Uncle somebody, hey boy,
you'd be
you know I'm the
surprised.
spider, don't you? You know it.
Yeah, you'd be
You know the spot, right? Watch
You know
this.
I'm the spider, right?
Start doing
Yeah.
tricks and stuff.
Yeah, she caught him. Wasn't he like undressed for the most part with the spider's mask on and a hat hanging from the ceiling?
He wasn't. He was. I don't think he was when he was hanging from the ceiling. I think he still had clothes on, but he was just doing all these weird things, like sitting at the desk, cross-legged, just with the mask on. I'm like, dang, bro. I mean, but I think that's for me. I feel like that lends itself to like the humanity of certain character, like the humanity of this character. Like he's very much.
he's an
Um,
earnest dude, which is also why it's he's so interesting. Like why
yeah.
he works as this character. Cause
Uh-huh.
like because when he's drunk, he's closer to his most honest self, which
Yeah,
is,
Uh-huh.
like I'm the spider. Or like or, like he's drunk and them dudes talk about him. He's like, don't talk about me.
It's all about me. Yeah. So he's earnest, but he also I don't know. He has this like he has this he has this kind of darkness about him that is very interesting. So I think he's pretty cool. Also, for the longest, I've been trying to figure out who Lonnie was, and I saw a post promoting the newest Spider-Man movie, and what's his name? Jeez, he played the albino guy in Black Lightning. That actor.
Tobias. Man.
Tobias. He played Tobias. What was it? Tobias Wells or Tobias? Yeah. He played him, and he's going to be Tombstone apparently in the new Spider-Man movie. And then someone posted a picture of the guy who plays Lonnie, and I'm like, oh, now this makes sense.
Okay.
Lonnie is Tombstone, which I think I've only seen that character. I'm not familiar with Spider-Man like all the villains and stuff, but I feel like Tombstone was in one of the Into the Spider-Verse movies.
Okay.
And that kind of explains the impenetrable skin. But still, part of him, it's funny because sometimes he gives lizard vibe, like reptile vibe, and I'm like, why didn't they could have just made him like just a bulletproof black guy? They could have made him pretty much like Luke Cage, or they probably should have made him look a little more dead, because that might be a part of Tombstone's character, and his name is Tombstone. But they should have made him look a little more undead, or they could have taken the albinism approach. Like that could have been his mutation. Like that could have happened.
Oh boy, better not say Negro. I was so tired of him in Black Lightning. Negro's always trying to do this. Negro's always trying to. He
was the Spider-Man. They were really making it safe for mainstream television with that. I was like, you want to say something else, don't you? But they're not gonna do it. It's CW. He's not gonna say it. It's CW.
Yeah, but yeah. So that was crazy. But yeah, that was funny, and funny too because I had no clue. I had an inkling that Janet knew the whole time, but she wasn't letting on before it was revealed that she knew the whole time that he was Spider Noir, and she was holding his secret. And so then Robbie and her both simultaneously knew. And Ben was kind of offended when he looked at both of them. He's like, "Oh, now you care about your secret being him?" Like, of course we knew. Like, interesting. So, episode 8, we open up with Silvermane reflecting on his rise to. It was kind of crazy scene. He's reflecting on his rise to power, eating a bowl of peanuts at the table at the alcove. He's spinning yarns, talking about you know the difference between me and my predecessors and the stuff that I went through. It's just courage. That's it. It wasn't nothing else. And the way Kat's like looking at him like you slimy roach. He's sitting there, and his advice to her is like basically never be satisfied, never accept what people are going to give you because they're only going to give you what they want to give you, and they don't care about what you need or want really.
Don't that sound like Kat though?
Like what?
Don't that sound like Kat though?
Yeah, she's in the moment doing what she's
reading her.
Yeah. You know what? I kind of in that moment. Now that you say it, I kind of appreciated that line and that he told it to her, just because in his weird way, it was like one could take it as like his weird way of showing that he actually does care about her, like. Because he told her that, like, obviously that's his philosophy, but he's telling her, because, like, hey, don't also accept this from me either. Like, I know you're strong enough to get out of here, make your way out of this somehow. Not that he wants that or that, that's.
No, he wants to control and possess her.
Yeah, obviously. But I think in a weird, like, roundabout, his own sick, twisted way, he's telling her this, like, because, I think in his mind, he's like, well, else would I have you so close to me if I didn't care about you on some level, even though I keep threatening to kill you, but also don't accept this. Don't, you could do it.
Yeah, he's ready to drop out the window at the drop of a hat. So it kind of dulls any care you think he's trying to communicate. It's like,
for sure.
But
I'm saying again, I don't think he's directly communicating it. I'm saying on like a seventh, eighth, ninth layer down.
Okay.
He's being
That
poetic. He's
Yeah.
just being
you know
poetic.
that could be taken that way, like maybe on a subtext,
Yeah.
unconsciously, maybe on an even unconscious level, he's
Yeah. And
communicating that to
and
her.
we learn later that Kat's not as slick as she thinks she is too. At the same time, she
Hmm.
calls up Janet. This is after Janet has had that talk in the previous episodes with Ben about what actually goes down and wants to meet her at the theater, which was weird. She keeps taking the people to the same place. Janet shows up. I was so happy. I wanted more, but I was happy when Janet popped up.
She deserved them. She deserved them, Paps.
Yeah,
She
she,
deserved
she
them.
gave us a skibbity paps. That was for Ben. Pap, here's number two. That was for me. But it was
Hmm.
funny because she's like, "Oh, I deserve that." And he's like, "Yeah, you deserve more than that." Uh, and for yeah, she
Putting
gives her the
everybody
clap.
in danger.
Everybody's in danger. Telling Faber about Ben. He's like, "That wasn't your secret to share." Kat calms down a bit, and she claims I did it for love for Flint. And she's like, "Yeah, but you was supposed to be running away with my boy. Like, now you throwing this other man into the picture. Like, if that's what she was doing it for, then you could have been upfront with everybody." Uh, so Janet goes back to the office after that. Kat claimed that give me the antidote and I could do it, without I can get close to them without there being suspicion and making a scene, is what she's saying. Uh,
Hmm.
and so Janet goes back to the office, and Hank from the police precinct calls her to let her know. That's the dude. I think she bribed him with a sandwich or something at the police when she was digging for information. Like, hey, there's an APB out on your boy. Everybody wants Ben in a weird way, so you got to let them know that them folks is out there looking for him. So on both sides now. So Ben, she knows, she heads out, and she's being followed by Silvermane's boys, including Leiden and Flint. Um, you see the little kid back at the office trying to break into like some little lockbox he's got in there. I don't know what my boy is in there trying to just break into stuff. And Janet, of course, she leaves and leads them right back to Robbie's place. Um, that I don't know how she wouldn't know that she's being followed, but she does. Uh, Janet leads them to Robbie's apartment, and we learn that Ben is doing better, but his powers haven't returned yet. Janet tells Ben about the meeting with Kat, and he's thinking about it. That pissed me off so bad because she's like, "You stupid." And he was like, "Man, that's not a bad play. Huh? She might actually do it. She might actually do it because she's doing it for love for Flint. See, it's not me. It's what she wants anyway. She's gonna do what she want to do." And I'm like, I just can't see letting her in on any plans when she already done did you the dirtiest of dirty.
She's a liability.
Yeah, by serving you up
Yeah.
to Dr. Faber. Um, and Ben believes that Ben. That's the only reason why he believes that she's telling the truth is because she only wants to help Flint. She'll do basically whatever it takes to get that done. So before they can actually do anything, Flint and Leiden show up, knocking on the door. Robbie opens it up for them and Silvermane. Robbie tries to sneak the antidote into Ben's coat as they're like, "Yeah, the boss wants to see you." So they pick him up. That was kind of funny. This part where he's almost got the jacket. He's like, "Yeah, just let me get my coat." And then Leiden at the last second grabs him and says, "Oh, we'll keep you cozy." And so he doesn't get to. This foreshadows something because you see a look between Robbie and Ben where he kind of like, "Yo, what do we do now?" And he can't really elaborate because they're standing right there. So he walks off with them. And they take him to the alcove. And then he's sitting there with Silverman, and Silverman's demanding that Ben call the spider so that they can have a conversation. He wants the antidote. And we know that the mayor is also trying to get his hands on the antidote. So they're like, they go through a little negotiation thing where Ben is asking for more money, between which, and I'm like, I don't know what the play is here because I'm like, who is he gonna call? He's probably gonna call somebody he knows, but so it's got to be either Janet or Robbie. I'm thinking at this point, and it ends up being Robbie that he called, pretending to be. This was funny when Robbie starts imitating Nick Cage.
Genius.
Starts
Best part.
pretending to be Ben, which is awkward because he's talking to Silvermane. When you tell him yourself. He goes back and forth for a bit, hands him the phone, and then Robbie starts going off, and then Janet's beating on him like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Yeah, well, we have to see. I don't know what exactly we're going to use this for." It's like, wait a minute, why are you doing Ben's voice to Silvermane with Ben sitting with Silvermane? It's like, what you doing? I also like the excuse that Ben gives at first before refusing to give him the phone call. He's like, "Well, you can't understand anything this freak says. He's got a freaking sock on his head, for Christ's sake. Have you heard him? I can't understand him. He's hard to get on the phone, but even if you get him on the phone, I'm not going to understand nothing he says." So they're working on a deal to have the Spider bring the antidote. And so now they're having drinks. And this part was pretty cool too, because Lydon keeps looking at Ben. It started in the car. He's like, "I know you." He's like, "No, I done seen you somewhere." He's like, "Yeah, at the alcove in the penthouse at Silvermane's penthouse. I met you the other night. You didn't like the song I sang? You didn't like that?" He's like, "Nah." He's like, "Before that." He's like, "Before that, I know you." He's like, "You're drunk." And then the boy's like, Flint's like, "I've never touched a drop." Because they get confronted right before the Spider's supposed to show up. Lydon's still putting it together. Flint is kind of looking at him. You can tell it hasn't registered quite yet, but something's kind of germinating in his head now that maybe they all do know each other. And they kind of put it together before Robbie shows up dressed as the Spider, which was kind of predictable and funny. But I can still see Robbie even though he's in the mask because their heads are shaped different and their height is different. So I'm like, that's Robbie. Like he's trying to put on a show, but it's him. I'm like, what if he gets punched?
Oh, he's done.
He's done. If he gets socked up, he doesn't get socked up, but yeah, because Silvermane is on him. Like he kind of catches when he's kind of quick. He catches it first. Like, well, what if it's you? What if the reason you can't call the Spider because the Spider's sitting right here? And once again, he starts threatening Cat, and that's what I was saying that Cat is not as slick as she thinks she is because Silvermane calls her out like, "Yo, hand me the gun." She starts looking around like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Come on now, the gun that you all think we don't know you have. We know you have the gun. Just hand me the gun. The one you think about. Give me that one." And so she pulls out this pistol that she had tucked into a garter belt, hands him the gun, and then my boy points the gun at her like, "I know, the Spider's you're a good man, and you might not, kill these hardened criminals, but there is one innocent here. You wouldn't let me just kill her because she's not a part of the equation." And he's breaking it down. Everybody's waiting for, things to happen, and Cat's the one that finally just fesses up to everything to, I guess, stall.
Yeah.
He's like, "It was me." It's like, "I'm the one that snitched on you. I'm the one that told the cops about your booze coming in. I'm the one that tipped everybody off. I'm the one that paid Addison to kill you." You're like, everything was me.
It was me.
It was me all. It was me all along.
It was me.
Yeah. So, and then in the midst of all that, Nick is killing me right now because he's still flicking his wrist and nothing's happening the whole time.
He's stressed. This is an interesting point of tension, but I knew it wasn't going to go left. Like I knew it wasn't going to go bad, but I'm like, bro, you're about to get exposed over Cat right now.
Rocky syndrome. I call it Rocky syndrome because as much as they
Adrian.
Yeah. Well, no, because you see Rocky get whooped. And in the end he's gonna win is my point. Like things, no matter how hard they get, how bad it seems they're going to go, at some point, the tide is gonna turn and they're gonna come out on top. So yeah, Robbie shows up pretending to be. How did he not have? Oh, Janet had. That's what it was. Janet had the antidote outside the door, so she's not very good at sneaking around. She should really just stay in the office because the cronies round her up, have the bag of syringes, the little pouch of syringes. Robbie's sitting there looking dumb. Lydon goes over there and picks up the syringes, and then immediately walks over to Rob because he thinks it's a spider and jabs him. So I'm like, what? I just want to see if it works. And then we have some tension between him and Silvermane because Silvermane wants the power. He wants to have the ability to depower them at any moment that he wants to. And Light knows it. That's why he's been talking crazy to Flint this whole time. Like, hey, he starts in the car like, we got the power. You know, what we listening to this old dude for when we're the one holding on? We hold all the trump cards right now. We can do what we want. He needs us. We don't need him. What are we listening to him for? And he's like, you ever heard of loyalty? And he's like, nah, ain't nothing this loyalty.
Right. I like Leiden's character. I like he was. I liked how he became a point of opposition. In that moment, I was like, well played, because I felt like it was foreshadowed, like the way he did, like Leiden deal with his anger, and how he kind of doesn't take orders, like he doesn't really follow the rules, or he's always hot half cocked. So it's kind of like it made sense. I was like, nice, good play.
Manipulation. So yeah, they have it out. Ends up that Robbie is out, and all hell breaks loose. They start fighting. Finally, the powers come back to Ben Reilly. He starts webbing people. They start
all of a sudden.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
They start shooting, and Silvermane ducks and runs immediately. Cat picks up the gun. As soon as he left where he was going, she picked up the gun and starts following Silvermane down to he's escaping his hideout. That was an interesting how that played out. She follows. I was getting shades. Y'all probably don't. I don't know if y'all remember Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee.
I haven't seen that in a minute.
Well, there's a scene in there where he follows the villain into this like funhouse.
Yes.
Mirror.
This trope is played all the time, and it's always fun. It's always fun. So they did a really good job with the visuals on that, the cinematography, where like as she's shooting the mirrors, we're getting these like really interesting cracks that almost look like webs, but also reference like all the other stuff we've kind of seen visually in the like intro sequence, different elements. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. So he doesn't get to. So yeah, she's chasing him down the hideout, and now we got Spider Noir. He picks up his mask, puts it on. He gets thrown out of the building, and now we got a street fight with Sandman and Megawatt on the streets with Spider Noir, and they've got a crowd now that are gathering around them as they are circling each other, fighting, and for the most part, the Spider's getting his butt whooped this whole time. He's getting lit up, and the only thing that saves him is that Cat comes out after dealing with Silvermane, and he says, "Truly, my love, I'm glad it's you." He gets shot. She comes back up with the pistol and threatens to shoot Leiden and runs out of bullets. At that point, all the shots that she took at Silvermane's reflections, and then he goes to shock her, and of course Flint's pissed off. He runs over and grabs Cat, as they're going down, and but then he continues to fight Spider Noir. Now, was this after? Because I'm confused right now. Because I know the Spider grabbed two cars with his webs and then smacked Flint, and he just puffed in a puff of sand and reconstitutes himself.
So that happened. So when he did that happened, I guess technically while she was in the funhouse of mirrors killing Silvermane. So when we cut back to the fight scene, Sandman's been reduced to rubble. And so he starts reconstituting, which is the thing I wanted the entire time. I love that part. Yes, that's all I needed. His hand kind of coming up. I was like, that's what I wanted right there.
Yeah, he pulls himself back together, and now he's pissed at what Leiden has done. I was glad because I thought he was going to end up being the Spider's savior. I thought it was going to be Sandman in the end because of their competition.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm glad they didn't do that. They keep fighting, and it looks like they're in their confrontation, and while Leiden's attention is taken away, Spider Noir finally gets back up and he webs him, and then he tries to shock him through the webs, and my boy just holds on, taking the shocks, and times it perfectly as a train is about to pass by overhead, and then swings my boy up into the train, kill him. Like a piece of his mask is off, half of his face is revealed, which I thought was interesting. That seems to be a trope with all the Spider-Men. They always get beat up to the point where some of the mask is
Has
off,
to
you
be.
can see their face partially, and the people start cheering for him. He kind of walks over to where Flint is sitting there. Oh, now we didn't talk about that too. How Megawatt like explodes this boy's hand, like turns his hand
Yeah,
into
he turns
glass.
into glass. I was when that happened, I was like, this is real. This is real. I'm like, it's happening. Like I'm like, heat, sand.
Yeah.
We got glass. I'm like, oh.
And then
So
shattered it.
when he shattered his right arm and kept crystallizing or turning everything to sand, I mean glass, I was like, oh, Flint, you ain't gonna make it.
Yeah.
But then they surprised me.
They survived, and
Yeah.
I didn't see. I was looking for a nub, if like the hand was
I
going.
was looking for a nub too. I'm like, homie lost the right arm. I don't know about the left. That one should have been, I guess, due to the antidote. I guess he can keep the crystallized arm, but still, I was like, I don't know, man. Like, you can't get that right hand back. That's gone.
And he figured, and it was interesting too because we know that Ben wanted to take the antidote, but he only had one left, and he didn't give it to Flint. He gave it to Cat. Mm-hmm. She's like, "What about you?" And he's like, "Well, he kind of he says something smarmy about it, and then rolls off, and everybody kind of clapping and patting him on the back. And then later we see, was that Silvermane's casket they were standing over?
I don't know.
And they're somewhere in like it looks like almost like a mausoleum. And it looks like there's a big thing of flowers right there. I was wondering if that was like Silvermane's, like they're making sure he's dead and he's in the ground like this.
He'll come back.
Yeah, and then Cat so slick. She should have shut her mouth. She come up. In another life, I really would have run away with you. We didn't talk about the time where in the office where they're all talking about Silvermane and what he's gonna and what Ben Riley's gonna do with his money. And he's like, I was thinking about going to Santorini, and he looks at Cat. But no, I'm thinking France. It's more romantic.
France, right?
Yeah, but that jab at her with the Santorini, he's like, yeah, I would have gone to Santorini, but now we're gonna go to France. So that's how the season ended. That Flint gets the antidote. He walks away and has like his happy ending with Cat. They're gonna walk off into the sunset, and the spider will continue being the spider because there's no more antidote. So everything's getting Silvermane's dead. So I don't know if they're gonna continue this at some point. And if they do, I wonder what part of his rogues gallery they're gonna bring in for Spider Noir to keep fighting if we do see another season.
I wonder if something will get announced after this next Spider-Verse movie comes out. Like,
is that 2027?
Is it?
Didn't they say when it was? I feel like they just announced it was coming out in 27 or something. I gotta look it up.
I feel like whatever happens in that movie will probably be not in tandem. Like I know Spider Noir in the Spider-Verse movies is doing whatever he's doing there, but I feel like there's gonna be some connection, even if it's like a small offshoot. It'll be some connection timeline wise. So
I don't know if I don't know if I want this to be a side. Like I don't feel like I need a second season of this.
Yeah, I like the first one. I just I like that we know how he got to be what he's doing, and I don't need to know all the different crimes and stuff because essentially I'm sure there are better writers who could figure it out, but at this point I'm just kind of like, all right, we're basically in the equivalent of Gotham City because all these politicians and cops are still dirty and corrupt.
Yep, they're all corrupt. You frozen. We just gonna keep rolling.
I'm hoping that's where Jocelyn's going with this, but I kind of agree. Like, it would just be corruption, and I don't know, seeing the same stuff all the time would be boring.
Or
And
it
I'm
could
like,
be, it could be. I know they're not going to do this, but it could be Monsters of the Week. You back?
I'm back. I am back. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Um, all I was getting at was just I think I don't know how different it can be,
mhm,
because it's essentially Gotham City,
Yeah.
you know.
agree,
So, mhm.
agree. So I'd rather just see this as a setup or just something to engage with before we get the other Spider-Man content.
Hmm.
Because I think I recently saw something that talked about like contractually, like Sony has to release things out on a certain cycle, which is why like we've gotten some bad Spider-Man movies
I'm thinking. I don't
because
know
they
if that's
don't want to revert
still
it.
the case. But yeah, it was usually every 5 years.
Hmm.
Sony has to release something live action
Yeah.
Spider-Man related to in order to retain the rights.
Yep.
But,
I did see that, and I was
you know,
like, this was cool. I mean, it was a cool iteration. Like, this was a successful um, series within the Spider-Man world universe. But I don't need to see more. This was fine just the way it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it was varied enough for me.
Yeah.
Being different in the noir setting, the cinematography. I may watch some of it again in color, but I really liked it in the black and white to keep the aesthetic going for what the genre was supposed to be. Kind of the noir superhero mashup, um, the ambiance and setting, the way that they framed the dialogue was interesting because it was done in that particular style and not the modernized way that we have everything else presented to us. So I wouldn't mind another season, but again, like I'm agreeing with you guys. I don't think it's necessary to keep rehashing the same thing and the same formula. All you would have to do really is make like a monster of the week thing where they just introduce a different villain, but that's not different enough to
Mhm.
warrant what the budget's probably going to do to continue to do that for another season. But it ain't my money; it's their money. So if they decide to do it, we'll be here to watch it. What would you guys rate this series out of 10?
I'd say maybe an 8 out of 10.
Mhm.
I feel.
Mhm.
All right. I'm actually gonna go 9.
Okay.
I ain't using anything else. I feel like it's been a minute. But I kind of just I thought that the story was very. It wasn't like overly complicated. Everything kind of got resolved.
Hmm.
It leaned into a lot of fundamental archetypes we see within the genre of noir. So I think that they captured that element very well.
Hmm.
I think that watching this in black and white is a preferred experience. Like, I actually, when I turned it on today to just see it in color for like 30 seconds, I was like, I don't know if I can keep doing this. This doesn't feel, this don't feel right.
Yeah.
So I think from the experience of watching it in black and white is like a 9. Like, it's like visually stunning and it's enjoyable to look at. Ben Riley and Nicolas Cage's performance as Ben Riley was really just Nicolas Cage probably playing himself,
Yeah.
which I was fine with. And so I really enjoyed his performance. I actually really enjoyed all the support characters within the series. Robbie, Janet, the little newsy kid
Yeah.
was cool. So it was like they were all really cool elements of the story. The villains were very like they all were kind of very unique in their own way. They had their own motives. I feel like and Silvermane was cool, like as he's the kingpin pretty much. So I think that everything kind of came together nicely with the kind of mystery, solving these mysteries. Always kind of like that idea of like who did what, who done did it type of elements within the story. I really liked how we positioned the flashbacks within the series.
Hmm.
So we got like, I guess midway through the season, we got to understand like how Ben got his powers versus like really hammering down on that in the beginning.
Yeah.
It kind of worked better. It was actually well timed situationally with him being captured. So it was like it made sense of the story. So I thought it was really good. So I really enjoyed the series. It was dope.
Yeah. I'm more in line with Jordan. I'm at about a 9, mainly because of how things coalesce together for the recipe
Mhm.
that we got here.
Mhm.
The various tropes of noir versus the superhero comic genre, the cinematography of it, the dialogue, the quirkiness, and kind of the cheesiness that they leaned into and didn't kind of back off of. They just let it sit at where it was. Nick Cage being Nick Cage and kind of doing his thing and putting his stamp and fingerprints over his performance here. The guy that played
Mhm.
Robbie, I like him. I like Janet. Um, Kat I liked her as a character, but even though some of her ideological and moral leanings kind of bothered me throughout it.
Mhm.
But she gave a great performance as well. Silvermane was good. Uh, yeah, for all those reasons, I think it's a 9. I liked it. Black and white is the way to go to watch this, even though I did see some people online saying that basically, if it wasn't meant to be watched in color, you shouldn't give me the choice of watching it in color. But some people are going to want the choice, and perhaps some people aren't going to watch it in black and white, and for those people, they're going to watch it in color. Maybe they just maybe have an aversion to the black and white version. I don't know, but yeah, not a
Black and white version was beautiful.
the what?
Black and white version was beautiful.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it was doing what it was supposed to do. Well, I appreciate y'all taking the time out of your day for chop it up with me about these things. We have one lurker who hasn't commented, but we are being watched, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to sit here and listen to us chop it up about these things. Um, we will be putting the description up, links in the description up when we put this episode up on Spotify. That will once again take you to all of our personal websites if you are interested in any of our creative endeavors as a writer and these two artists and writers as well. We appreciate y'all. We will talk to you next time.
Peace.